Fear Street Part 3 1666 was released in 2021. This is directed by Lee Janiak, written by Phil Graziadei, Lee Janiak and Kate Treffry, and I apologise if I've mispronounced any of those names. And we have a cast including Kiana Madeira, Ashley Zukerman, Gillian Jacobs, and various others. And this is, of course, the third part in the Fear Street trilogy from 2021. And I have to say, it's quite impressive. I'd say it's the least scary of the three. None of them have been that scary, but some had some pretty gruesome moments. This one's not particularly scary, but I do think the story is very, very well written. I won't go into too much detail about what happens in this one. I guess there may be some spoilers for the previous films, but this one takes us back to 1666, and we get to learn more about the witch and what potentially caused this curse to come about. This is, of course, the curse that causes people to commit a lot of murders back in, well, the 1900s at Shadyside. And it's a very, very well-written story. I think they did very well to stretch it out over 3 films, because it very easily could have felt like there was a lot of fluff and padding, and it could have become very stale. But actually, I think over the 3 films, they've handled various aspects of the narrative and how it's affected various characters in a really effective way. I think the story was great, and I think that's the main reason why I enjoyed this third film. It wasn't very scary. It wasn't that intense. It wasn't that gruesome either compared to some of the previous films. Certainly, there's a moment in the first film that I absolutely adore. But in terms of being gruesome or scary, not so much, but the story was really fascinating. I liked digging deeper into the origin of this curse and what happened in the 1600s. I think that worked really well. The characters we meet there, all really fascinating, really interesting. We have some really great performances. Visually, it's really great. We have some wonderful camera work, really brilliant editing. So it may not be that scary, but I thought Fear Street Part 3, 1666, was a brilliant end to the trilogy, and everything about it worked well. The narrative flowed well, the pacing was great, visually it was great, the characters and performances, absolutely brilliant. So in general, I was pretty impressed with it. Yes, I would have liked it to have been a little bit scarier, but because I'm already emotionally invested in the story and the characters, I didn't really mind so much that it wasn't terrifying. I guess I could say I didn't choose to watch this because of the horror aspect. I chose to watch it because I was really keen to find out more about this story. But yes, obviously, it could have been a little bit scarier. And I'm looking forward to watching the fourth one. I don't know if Fear Street Prom Queen has any connection to this, or if it's just set in the same location. I've not looked into it. I'm not going to either. I'm going to go in with as little knowledge as possible and see what happens there. But I'm looking forward to it. And for now, I can say that Fear Street Part 3, 1666 was a brilliant film, a great end to the trilogy. And if you liked the previous 2 films, I'd say it's definitely worth watching. If you didn't like the previous 2 films and you're not that bothered about the narrative or learning more about the characters or the curse, then I'd say it's probably not worth watching because it's not that scary either. But if you enjoyed the previous 2, then without question, I'd say Fear Street Part 3, 1666 is definitely worth watching. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to watching the next one.